Welcome, 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 and happy Easter. It is Easter Sunday today, and after 2 to 3 days of rain, we finally have nice weather. So, of course, what we're going to do, we're going to be on the land until probably late this afternoon, if not this evening. We had a lovely comment from Kitty. Hello, Kitty, and hello, India. Hope you're both doing really well. Regarding the goats, because they'd seen the video of June with her latest arrivals, Safi and Wally, and so we thought we'd do a short video on the other ruminants, including Violet, her previous daughter, and of course the sheep. Now, a lot of you may have noticed that our grass on our pasture isn't doing too great at the moment. We had issues with the storm. It washed away a lot of the young grass, and then we had a really cold snap and it's just killed off a lot of the young rooting grasses there. We have put in a lot of seeds, so we have plentiful creeping fescues and meadow seed down. And we timed it, so we waited for the rain to come in. We'd soaked the seed overnight to activate it, and we sowed a lot of the seed. And it's working, it's coming back now, so it will steadily start to green up, and you might be able to see it's really starting to go now, particularly in the bottom pasture. But we also have the food forest. Now, these aren't pastures, so we have to be really careful how we get it grazed down. We've got plenty over there. There's our adorable Peggy, our mascot. And what we do like to graze them out of the pastures. It gives the pastures a rest, it allows us to seed things. It also allows for me to go in and muck them out, because with June eating as much as she is and drinking as much as she is, we get a lot of manure, and every other day, we do a bit of deep littering, but every other day, normally about sort of 2 to 3 days, it's a full clean out and start over. If you can hear that raucous in the background, that is Crumpet, one of our matriarchs, and she has taken on the role of being a rooster, so she's trying to crow, but it sounds awful. I'm not going to tell her though. So yes, we are going to be putting the goats, apart from June, she will have to go in a pasture with the babies, but the others will be going out on pegs or on ties.
Don't they? And every week it grows to about this height, and it just replens. It's such so we were able to
and
use
also,
the weeds.
I know a lot of people don't like ground elder, but you can pull it up. It's very shallow rooting, but also you can eat it. So it was actually established by the Romans. The Romans used it in stews and for salads, so it's just got out of hand. Used to be a mains crop. But we have this old fence line here. This is where the original fence line used to be, but we just extended it up there. It just stops littering, and also it gives us a bit more space to work with. We have some baler twine here, just off some of our old hay bales, which we've tied to a few of the posts. And we'll have a couple of them up here today. Very likely the sheep, because they'll browse the grass and then we'll move them. But we also have some pegs going. So if I see if I can find a peg. We've got another tie-up point just up there, because we had Pan up there. But we have these simple corkscrew design pegs. We were actually given one at first by Chrissy and Davey when they moved out of their house. They obviously used it for a dog, and most people will use it for their dogs just to exercise them in an area. We use them for our grazers, particularly if we're using them to graze down areas where there are also flower beds, and we don't want them to eat those, because goats will eat anything. So we have these pegs, and I'm going to try and find one. There should be one lurking somewhere that I can show you. And it's a very simple design. It just consists of a corkscrew. I found one. It just consists of a very simple corkscrew method. So here's one. Now, the beauty of these is you can move them around, and they're nice and long. So they go down at least 20-25 centimetres into the ground. It's a simple peg. You can move it around, twist it back into the ground, and then they tie up onto this loop here. Now, they are designed to go around and rotate, so it does stop them from getting sort of caught up on the pegs, but it's not it's not a sure practice. I would recommend, if you want to use these for your animals, make sure you're there during the day. Don't just tie them up and leave them, because we have come back and found some of them tied round because the loop hasn't moved properly. So we always make sure, if we're going to put them on these, we're here. We almost had an accident once with Pan, our Billy. He got himself tangled round this and got his leg trapped. Luckily we were here, so we heard him getting stuck and we got him off. We also make sure that we always tie with a quick release knot, so you pull the end of it and the whole thing comes undone, and it just saves serious accidents from happening. So be careful if you're using these. Do not leave an animal tied up on them unsupervised, and just make sure they've got plenty of room around them. So we'll be using these today. We've got some baler twine at the top, but as you can see, our grass is doing really well in the food forest. The only issue is we have young trees, and both the sheep and the goats love to strip the bark and eat the young buds, so we have to control their grazing. So we bring them out as often as we can onto the pegs, and for the time being June has to go in a pasture, so she'll probably be in the top pasture again, and will just give us some clippings of our weeds. I'm going to be weeding today, and she loves comfrey and things like that, so I'll be thinning that. So she'll be in there with her babies, because the babies, they're not trained to leashes yet. We will train them when they're a bit young, a bit older, and they've got a bit more strength to their necks, and we'll start walking them with mum and getting them used to being pegged as well. So when they go to their new homes, they're kind of familiar with the practice. So June will be in there, and we'll probably have one or two down here and a couple up there, and we'll move them around today. Also, you might be able to see Peggy in her little ark. She's going to be out with us today because we're here. She'll be supervised. So we're going to take a couple of the girls out at a time and get them to scratch up some dirt for us. So they'll be helping and fertilising. We do have some new chickens which I'd like to introduce at some point later, but for the meantime this is our starting introductory video, and I want to then lead on to one about Violet and how well she's doing, because she was our project. Violet was completely wild. I wouldn't say feral, she was wild. She's an unregistered Guernsey, so any babies that she throws will be very cheap, or will unfortunately go to meat for us. Because unregistered billies tend not to sell. We can band them and they can become pets as wethers, but there's not really a market for the unregistered. And even though we're not really bothered by registered or unregistered, a lot of people are. So we'll do a video on her. She has come a long way. She's the clown of the farm, and she's caused quite a bit of chaos, but funny chaos. As in untying gates and letting everybody out, sort of chaos. So
of all of them, she's the most clever.
She is incredibly intelligent, and her favourite thing is to stand on the fence and kiss you. She loves to give kisses. It's her thing now.
I love her to give kisses.
But yes, we'll lead on to a video of Kate leading her, just to show you how far she's come. I think the last time we really showcased her, she was actually being stall raised at the time, just so we could get close to her, because she would just run. She'd bolt. She was quite dangerous, and when she'd get into one of those frenzies, she wasn't actively using her horns, but because she has them, if she flailed in the wrong direction, it's like a walking pitchfork. So we had to be very careful at first, but now, well, you'll see. So thank you for supporting us, and we'll see you in the next video.